No matter what it is in life that you want, you gotta go out there and get it. Just don't let it come to a sneaker but a dream.
What's up, team? This is Robert Porter with the I Love San Bernardino County Radio Show with Ipiani Lockhart in the house. Thank you for all you're doing with Motivational Realizations. I noticed today you have the incredible shirt from Wax Skateboards, Carousel Mall, 1991 to 2017.
The Carousel.
Yeah.
Jason Lola, Wax skateboards in the house.
An original idea. It's a skeleton of a carousel horse.
Yeah, the carousel.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, I wish maybe someday we'll buy that carousel back that they sold for pennies, you know.
Definitely,
Wow.
definitely. And it glows in the dark as well, so
Oh,
I got to
that's
get to
tight.
a rave, you know what I mean?
Well, that will probably next week, right?
Well, hopefully later on tonight, you
You
know.
go everywhere. No joke. Johnny is everywhere.
That's
Man,
what they say.
Yeah. Whew. I'd also like to thank our sponsor, Celebrities Bar and Grill, Max Sayer and his team. Man, they're doing great things. They really want to, pay San Bernardino sales tax.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they want to give us money, right?
Wow.
And so does every single business in San Bernardino. They want to pay that sales tax, right? So we can have roads, so we can, do good things in the parks and things like that. And hopefully someday even be able to clean the parks up.
Definitely. And most importantly, to have offerings for our community, right? We don't want people to have to leave outside of San Bernardino City or even San Bernardino County. We want to build here in our own community within the Inland Empire. So I'm grateful for the business owners and entrepreneurs that choose to set roots here in our community. And we
Because
definitely want to
that's how
support
we make
it.
our money.
Totally.
Right? We got to make money, and we need new businesses. And it seems like a lot of times the old schools get replaced by the new. And I like something Dr. Pierce from Cal State San Bernardino
Go
told me.
Yotes.
Yes, he told me if you want your mom and pop businesses to survive, you have to shop at them.
Totally.
And I live by that if I can. Right?
And so do the businesses.
Now Home Depot, I gotta get paint and things, But
Definitely.
like if I can go to Ace, that small little hardware store or whatever, I'll do that. So thank celebrities for leading by example. Go, Yanni.
I was just going to say, you guys remember Builder Emporium in
Oh, yeah.
Rialto back in the day?
Do you remember Oli's?
Is that the one on the west side across the street from the mug?
There's actually still one left, but there was an Oli's right off of Highland.
Oli's for goodies.
And we went to, if you didn't have it at Oli's, we went to Builders Emporium.
Okay.
Oh,
Man.
right. There we
The
go.
old school days, man.
Totally.
Wow, I miss those old days of San Bernardino. All right, thank you, Max. We really appreciate you and
Thank you,
Zoe.
Max.
Yeah, he's a cool cat, man.
Real cool.
He's done a lot of stuff in Calamasa right now. He's trying to build up his personality there. You know how he can talk to everybody.
Yeah.
right?
There you go. That's
So,
how you got to do it.
His wife said, "Hey, we're moving you over there to the juice bar, and you are going to build that."
Okay, that's why he's been so quiet out here.
Yeah, he hasn't
okay.
been as much as there. Because, I mean, when you own multiple businesses, I guess, takes multiple time.
Oh.
Yeah, it does.
You know what's so interesting, and I think this is when you talk about mom and pops, people don't realize that when you run a mom and pop, you're the waitress, you're the food server, you're the
You wear many hats.
That's right, because you're really keeping your business going, and you're lucky if you can hire out to be able to get that additional help. Like, that's progress before, people are like, oh, you just start a business and franchise.
Totally.
Man, it's a 24-hour thing, and I give everybody, especially our small businesses, we got to keep our money here so we can keep them here.
Totally agree.
And the other part about being a small business owner in the beginning, you don't pay yourself.
Oh, no.
Slave labor.
you don't even get a free meal.
More than likely, you paying into it.
Not only time, but money, like
That's
you're saying.
right.
Yeah, so it takes a little organization and some time, and it does help to have good people around you like Johnny pushing,
Yeah.
and seeing good people like Max as an
Totally.
example, right,
Totally.
of what we could possibly achieve.
Amen.
Standout of the week is author Stephanie Wilson. I met a while back at one of Feed the Dinos with DJ Muda
Awesome.
at Fairfield Park, and she's an author, and she has I don't remember the names of her books. I probably should have wrote them down. But she had several novels that she writes, and she sells them. And
Awesome.
she just graduated from San Bernardino Valley College.
All
Go
right.
Wolverines.
Yeah, I didn't graduate from there, but I did take 2 classes.
There you go.
There you go.
So I'm
Cardinal Pride.
I'm part Wolverine,
There you
right?
go.
There you
I'm
go.
part Wolverine,
So you're like an
and part
X-Men.
Coyote.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
Yogi.
Yeah, yo.
Go Yodi.
But
He's a Yoverine.
Yeah, you go. But Stephanie, I appreciate you coming on the show that one time during COVID, and you know, I appreciate you leading by example. You know, going back to school in your later years
Awesome.
is not easy. You know, your brain doesn't seem to work as good as it was when I was 18. I can remember everything the night before. You know.
Man, don't say that. I'm
Yeah.
actually really contemplating going back to pursue my master's,
Yes.
but I think I'm
Go
learning
ahead.
up. I still
Yeah,
got the
do
gears
it.
turning.
Yeah, well, no, it,
Oh,
will.
yeah.
It sets itself, right? Yeah, but it takes a little practice to
I
get
hear
back
you.
It's like
into
riding
it.
a bike. It
That's
really
what they
is.
say.
And if you go into the master's program, I teach at the
Okay.
Masters of Public Administration, so I'd love
Excellent.
to have you in my class.
Awesome.
Think about that.
Amen.
Let's take
Amen.
over government.
The main thing what I'm searching for is someone plugged me onto some grants that Cal State kind of has some grants here and there sometimes that could help you pay for your master's, because
Okay.
that's the main barrier right now. I already have a lot of student loan debt, and
Man.
I want the master's, but I don't want to incur a lot more debt.
debt.
So if anybody has any grants or leads or anything like that want to help a brother get his master's, African American man in the community, man of the community, reach out and let me know.
Well, definitely look into the Educational Opportunity Program, EOP&S. It's
Okay.
where they look for the non-traditional students as well. There are a lot of different grants and scholarships available, and
Awesome.
luckily Cal State is still one of the lowest places to get an education as far as monetary. It's $20,000 roughly for the 2 years. So I
Awesome.
would hit up EOP&S and the admissions.
You know, I definitely will, and I'll be reaching out for you just in case I forget that. But
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm happy to be
And I'll be
a
like,
resource.
Treasure said.
Yeah, she did. Be like, Dr. Ortiz said, give me this.
Dr. Ortiz, my apologies.
No,
Doctor.
I'm just saying, use it when you're at Cal State. 'Cause
I hear you.
that's my little pond. So
You're going to open some doors for me.
Oh man, and Cal
Awesome.
State. I think the most beautiful thing is we were both alumni.
And so
And
you?
too.
Oh,
Go-
yeah.
all 4 of us,
Okay.
Yodi's in the house.
But look at what it breeds to. My heart and soul is with my university
Amen.
because
For
it gave
sure.
me my career in government, and look where it leads us at, like homegrown, and what we're
Amen.
able to do and establish that for the kids that are coming up.
Beautiful.
Man, I love thank the
Amen.
world for Cal State.
My master's
Cal
program
State
changed
San
my
Bernardino.
life. I mean, it forced me to do art. I actually got forced to face my father's suicide in the counseling portion of this holistic education that I took, and man, it was
Beautiful.
incredible what I learned. And
Beautiful.
the whole process was teaching students how to build the foundation. Then, show them how to use the tools, but let them build the house.
There you go.
Right?
There you
Let
go.
them build their own house.
Totally.
Right?
Totally.
So a lot of the beginning of the course was like letting the children build their own desk, and like, the kids would come in and sit on the floor. Like, so we came in the first day of class and sat on the floor. But we didn't have to build our own desk, but he was just trying to get us to into the groove, right?
yeah.
So we learned a lot.
I was so proud when you went back.
No.
Totally awesome. And one thing that I think we have to do a much better job of is communicating to our youth that education is truly self-empowerment. Because if you invest in yourself, now it allows you to more opportunities. It affords you more opportunities.
Yes.
And these opportunities could take you around the world. You know what I mean? So we really need to prioritize helping them understand that this is an
and
investment.
inside
in self.
here,
Yes.
Totally.
it can take you anywhere,
Totally.
right?
That's
Yeah.
right.
So you can study anything you want.
Totally.
That's it.
And I got to go there and study dinosaurs,
you go.
archaeology,
There you
and
go.
education together. You're
Right.
like, well, how does that even happen?
What's your favorite dinosaur? I've never answered you this question.
Dude, I personally love Tyrannosaurus Rex.
I
But
think
like
you're
every kid in the whole world
Yeah, yeah.
loves Tyrannosaurus Rex. So I often say Spinosaurus.
Okay.
Because it's a large meat-eating kind of
Definitely.
marine land dinosaur and
Oh, okay.
super huge.
I love
Yeah.
T-Rex is one of my favorites, and then I love pterodactyls. But I have to say the megalodon is probably my favorite.
So the avian weren't dinosaurs. I won't get
Thank
into
you
all-
for raining on my parade, Robert. You just shattered my dreams. God bless you.
I always thought you were a Triceratops, man.
You know what? I love Triceratops as well.
Me
We love
too.
dinosaurs.
Me too. And I like Land Before Time.
I was just gonna say that.
So,
We all grew up
Oh
on
my
that.
God.
Sarah
Yep,
was
yep.
Sarah was so cool.
And
No,
Brave
that was
Little
Ducky.
Toaster.
Ducky.
Exactly.
What about Brave Little Toaster?
Oh,
That's a classic. That's a classic.
All of it, just keep going. Till
Little
and don't stop.
fun, little
Oh,
fun.
man.
All right, we're
Oh, man.
reminiscing. Well, thank you, Stephanie Wilson. Look what you inspired. We went on a whole
Yes.
tangent of just school, and that's what we need in San Bernardino. We need, if you want to do something special, go to school.
Go to school.
Yes.
Go to, it doesn't have to be like college. They're technical schools. for all
Vocational
kinds.
trades and everything.
There's missionary schools, right?
Totally. Seminaries
for,
and
for
missionaries.
churches, and
Yep.
like so. Find what you want.
That's right.
Apprentice
Education is for
programs.
everybody.
Totally.
There's this narrative right now, and I know it's going on, especially in colleges, that you don't need to learn. It's all this technical. No, like education and furthering your mind, like you said,
Totally.
it's the one thing that the establishment and the institutions cannot take away from you
Amen.
is what's in your
Ever.
head. Because they can come for your house, they can come for your bank account, your cars, your family. But
That's what my dad
that's
said.
what my dad used to tell me.
That same
And that's
thing.
it. And when they
Wise
can't
words.
take, you could sit in jail all day and just read, and they can't
Totally.
take what's in your head, and
That's
that's
beautiful.
that's power, and that's
I
power
wonder
we
when-
can't lose.
I
And
wonder if my
once you-
dad heard that on maybe both our dads heard it in some
My dad was a
movie
baby
somewhere.
boomer. Well, they were all
Yeah.
afraid of the Russians coming in,
Yeah.
and so they were like, "Just put it in your head before the communists take it all."
Definitely.
And once you have the education, you don't never have to start over again. You're
right.
always starting from experience.
Amen. Well
Yeah,
said.
that's true.
Well said.
Yeah.
And there's also this respect that comes along with those pieces of paper that you get.
Oh, yeah.
And they can get you into places that you normally might
Can't
not
if
just
you don't
walk
have
right
it.
into.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Go
I
ahead.
want
think
to
it-
start
I
calling
think-
you Master Robert. Is that what we're
Oh,
going
no.
with?
May the force be with you.
I had a joke there, but I'll keep
Got
going
four.
myself.
But,
And you're in law school.
Why are you still laughing,
no,
y'all?
no.
Oh no, I wasn't
But
in
you-
law school.
Oh, okay.
It was
Definitely,
real
definitely.
expensive, real
No,
expensive.
it's,
Okay,
yeah,
okay, and that was brought to us by Ben Chavez and First Lineage Site Services.
There you go.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Ben. Thank
the
you,
I
Ben.
Love San Bernardino Santa of the Week, and we are looking into the I Love San Bernardino Business of the Week. I just spoke with our former co-host,
Awesome.
so he may be interested.
Okay,
We'll see
okay.
how that works. And then Yanni's been speaking with someone who might be interested in the NFP non-for-profit of the week. So I sent out a message, and we'll see how that works out.
And just to put it out there, we have another potential business of the month maybe coming down the pipeline. When I was outside, the gentleman, I shared this with you outside. I won't share it on air till it comes to fruition. You know, you don't want to count a chicken till it hatches, right?
Okay.
But they said they're very interested, and they're supposed to be reaching out to me this week. So
All right,
Reach
so,
out.
and if you guys are interested in sponsoring this show, I mean, seriously, like Max gets his name mentioned every single show, but it's
Totally.
not just this. This is social media, right? So I am constantly putting his business out there,
Totally.
right?
We
he
both
also
are. We
pays for
both do.
social media marketing as well, but like. To do this both together, it really does help your business
It really
with the
does.
locals that you want to come to your spot, right? So that's what I want. I want locals to shop at local places so they spend money and we get the tax dollars.
Totally, and we have a number of packages available. The nonprofit of the month and business of the month is the low hanging fruit, but we do have higher packages that we'll come out and shoot your events. We'll interview you as well, and just do our best to circulate and your brand and your business through the. It's probably between Robin and I. It's probably 30 pages that we manage
Yeah.
easily. So.
Nice.
Wow.
And not to mention all the people we know as well, like
That's
Jason
true.
from Black Skateboards got that.
Totally.
I'm right here. I got Empires.
Yeah,
Empire.
definitely. Empire Podcast.
Wax-
Jason did that
yeah,
too.
Wax
Shout out to
did
Jason
too.
again.
Empire will be on the show next week.
Yes, indeed. He'll be one of our guest hosts as
Yeah.
we interview Kim Carter and Vonia Quarles.
I will be absent next week, but Yanni's taking over the show and having an extravaganza.
Amen, amen.
I will be in a heat wave.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
You're
heading
going
to
to-
Magalia,
no.
Northern California, and Portola, and it's going to be hotter up there than it is here.
Have fun
What?
with that.
That's weird. Really
Definitely.
weird, but I don't mind being in the high Sierras. I think it's beautiful.
Oh, totally.
So it should be a nice break for my brain.
Amen. amen.
And
Well
painting.
deserved.
Do you guys mind if I read the history tidbit?
Sure.
It's your show.
I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the street Waterman Avenue.
Yeah.
Right here?
Once or twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But Robert W. Waterman, and I'm reading from the book "Creating the Gate City," San Bernardino, California, by Nicholas Cataldo, one of the coolest historians in the whole city. But he lives up in Victorville now, so
He's still in the county. Yeah, he's still here.
Yeah.
Rep the
We
set.
love you, Nick. As one of the major thoroughfares in the San Bernardino Valley, Waterman Avenue draws hundreds of automobiles along its path each day. Seemingly, everyone has been acquainted with the busy street. But how many of today's motorists know that Waterman Avenue was named after Robert W. Waterman? The man behind the street, Robert Whitney Waterman, and he was born in Fairfield, New York, in December 15th, 1826. Shortly after his birth, the Waterman family moved to Sycamore, Illinois, and Robert would continue living in the state until he joined the California Gold Rush in 1850. But after a couple years prospecting along the Feather River up in Northern California, right, and the Feather River actually brings water all the way down here into our reservoir at Silverwood.
Awesome.
That goes all the way down into Demogony Lake.
Okay.
Yeah, so we get a lot of the water from the Feather River. He went back to Illinois while engaging in a variety of business ventures. Waterman returned to California with his wife Jane and their 7 children in 1873. The following year, they settled down in foothills of northern San Bernardino, where they bought some land from the Dr. Montgomery. Montgomery had previously attempted to establish a spa using hot springs in competition with David Nobel Smith, whose land was just east of his. But whereas Smith's goal eventually evolved into the popular Arrowhead Springs Resort, Montgomery's dream never panned out, and he sold his property sometime in 1874. Waterman's main interests were in mining and ranching, not in developing his ranch into a resort. His mountain ranch, as he called it, was used as a summer retreat and allowed whatever improvements made by Montgomery to return to nature. In fact, Waterman's summer home was of modest size, and his guests occasionally used the facilities of the nearby Arrowhead Springs Hotel. Waterman refused permission for anyone traveling through his canyon as long as he was alive. And it wasn't until after Waterman's death in 1891 that the Arrowhead Reservoir Company was able to purchase the old logging road built by the Mormon settlers in 1852 and reopen it. The road was then widened and regraded in order to bring material through Waterman's Canyon and up the mountain for the building of Little Bear Dam, which helped create today's Lake Arrowhead.
Awesome.
In addition to maintaining his ranch, Waterman got involved with prospecting again, and this time in the Mojave Desert, where he did quite well during Calico silver boom in the early 1880s. He became wealthy as the owner of a highly lucrative silver mine, which was located just north of present-day Barstow. Between 1880 and 1887, the Waterman mine produced 40,000 tons of ore.
Whoa.
The old bullion book of the period showed silver production during those 7 years totaled $1,700,000.
Whoa.
Waterman closed the mine in 1887 due to a sharp drop in the price of silver. Waterman was elected to the post of lieutenant governor in 1886. And when Governor Bartlett died in September 12, 1887, he became the chief executive of the state. While he was governor, the California Militia or National Guard was expanded, and the formation of a volunteer company known as the Waterman Rifles was established. The outfit was mustered in Company E, 7th Infantry on October 29, 1887. Later redesigned as Company K and saw valiant service in the Philippines during the Spanish-American War. Governor Waterman was also instrumental in securing the third state building for Southern California. After the purchase of the land east of San Bernardino and on the north side of Highland Avenue, Waterman appointed a board of trustees who selected an architect, superintendent of construction, and contractor. He was then presented with the cornerstone of the insane asylum was laid out in late 1890, and the ceremonies were followed by the most elaborate banquet ever spread in San Bernardino County.
Awesome.
The insane asylum is known today as Patton State Hospital.
Wow. Didn't that come full circle?
Yeah.
So like why I picked that one today is, of course, the governor, because we're doing a little politics today, but like also like this guy, right?
Yeah.
Like is so instrumental in the naming of the main road that goes,
Totally.
access to the mountains in general. And didn't even get access. You had to go around.
Totally,
Wow.
totally. And what's inspiring is that, and I never knew until now, is that San Bernardino has produced a governor of the state of California.
And a huge silver mine created that.
Where is that
possibility.
located? We might have to
Cali-
reopen
So
that.
Calico, it's out in Calico Ghost Town,
Okay.
which is now a regional park of the county of San Bernardino.
So, we can't
Walter
dig
Knott
there.
bought it in the early 1900s, and that's where you get Knott's Berry Farm from,
Oh,
with Calico Ghost
awesome,
Town.
and the boysenberries.
So that's my history, but
There you
thingy.
go.
More history.
And Waterman is in the 7th Ward.
That's right.
There you go. The plug.
Waterman is, but Waterman Canyon is technically in the 4th
Yes,
ward, I
yes.
believe. And just before, like, I guess there was some. They wanted Arrowhead Springs in the city of San Bernardino, and they worked very hard to make sure that our city limits go right around
Oh,
Arrowhead
really?
Springs all the way down.
Wow.
Yeah. So now that San Bernardino owns it, that's different, but it's
Okay.
still part of the city.
Wow.
So it's very interesting how all this will work out in the
I
future.
hear it.
And
I
that's
hear it.
why I initially presented the possibility of renaming the beginning portion of Waterman Canyon Road, Old one, that leads to Arrowhead Springs after Santos Manuel, but
That's the
we'll see
split
how-
off, right? The old,
and then
Okay.
everything beyond the first bridge could still be Old Waterman Canyon Road,
Okay.
and none of the addresses would need to be changed.
Wow.
There you go.
And then we can give respect to.
There you go.
But we'll see. Maybe someday. I threw the I planted the seeds.
But that's
And
a-
you know, the
that's a
only thing
lot.
I really want to say is Robert Porter for governor.
No. You really want some gray hair. All right. Well, let's get into the show. We got Treasurer Ortiz, Dr. Treasurer Ortiz in the
Dr.
house
Treasurer
today.
Ortiz.
She's running for the 7th Ward of San Bernardino. I am a 7th Ward. I am
All
also a
right.
7th Ward councilman, and so is Latte here. So just to let you know,
7th Ward in the
we
house.
are
There
going
you
to
go.
be voting in this
Yeah.
election.
Yay.
So I'll be paying attention to everything. Now your opponent's name, Jim Penman. I spoke with him today. Unfortunately, he can't come. He's got a lot of Mondays built up right now, so he will be coming on in the future, though.
Okay.
But until his schedule loosens up, he won't be able to right now. But I definitely want to make sure I'm fair with giving everybody access to the radio,
Awesome.
and we'll try to keep it positive if we can.
Amen. Amen.
There will be. I do have a couple crazy questions, but you can
Yeah.
decide whether you want to answer those ones or
Those
not.
are my favorite.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
So tell us, you're born in Big Bear?
No.
Or you grew up in Big Bear?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
grew
okay.
I grew up in Big
Yeah.
Bear and spent my formative years up there. And then when I graduated high school, I had to come down and go to college. And so I spent some time at the University of Hawaii hanging out. Oh yeah, go Rainbows.
Partying.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Then I had to come back home and actually go to college. And so I came to San Bernardino, and came into Cal State San Bernardino. Got a job at the city of San Bernardino, and just grew my roots here. And I've been here now for, gosh, almost 13 years. And
Wow.
now I'm a professor at Cal State.
There you go.
So
Go Youngins.
homeowner in the
Yeah.
7th. Like this has
Congratulations.
been a wonderful place for me to be.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Good.
I think, tell us a little bit.
Oh, I'm born and raised in San Bernardino.
Hey now. West side?
West Side.
West side.
Born at Community Hospital.
Talon!
That's one of the names.
Oh, that wasn't the old school. What did you use to tag? What did you use to tag?
I never did graffiti.
You never threw no
Nah,
graffiti?
nah.
Rock,
I
what was
never
your rap
did.
name? B Rock?
Well, my first rap name was Lil L Rock.
Little L Rock.
Little L Rock.
There you
Lil
go. There
L
you
Rock.
go.
Yeah. But I was born at Community Hospital. Went to Real Vista.
There we go. West
Went
side.
to Airview.
Ooh! Golden Valley Knights rule!
I went to Golden Valley too.
Oh, yeah!
And then I went to SBHS, Go Cardinals,
Cardinal Pride.
and Valley College, Cal
Oh,
State.
Wolverines.
Oh, Jody, yeah!
Yeah, so I'm born and raised.
There you go.
And also a commissioner here in the city of San
Yeah,
Bernardino for Parks and
7th
Rec
Ward,
for
Parks and Recs,
Damon
community
Alexander,
relationships.
councilman.
Yeah.
Good man. I talked to Damon last week. I asked him about, what's about, he lost election. Like I didn't speak to him before this. I was a little dreading of it, right? But I talked to him about it. He's okay. He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
You know?
And they
I
have
mean,
an amazing
yeah.
foundation as well.
Yeah, you learn from loss. I mean, you really do.
Yeah.
And like after interviewing Henry Nickel, I really think it was a good thing for him.
No.
Right?
Yeah, because Henry Nickel looks revitalized.
Yes,
you know?
he's like it's a totally
different person.
different person. Yeah,
Totally.
It did good. It did good for him.
Totally.
So I hope that same thing happens for Damien. I know he's still going to be involved in everything.
Totally.
Yeah.
You know, he's a good guy. And we're always doing the turkey trot, right?
There we go. There we go.
Turkey trot.
On that same tip, that was the last race prior to this past Saturday round. Ran the Fontana Days 5K. You know, so shout out to Mayor Aquanetta Warren and Jesse Armadires. He was there as well.
They both ran with you?
They started off the race, and I think they both participated. in it.
okay.
Yeah,
So it
you had
was
the
awesome.
supervisor out there.
Yeah,
and
that's
running
pretty
around.
awesome. There you
He looks like he's in decent shape. anyways,
Definitely,
yeah.
definitely. And it's all about, supporting the community and about health. Everyone has their own pace, their own journey, but I definitely encourage people to take care of the temple because this is the only thing that allows us to live in this world.
Amen.
There you go.
Yeah, those are good community events to post too because it
Totally.
inspires others to go do
Totally.
a 5K. And if you do want to do the turkey trot, go to sbturkeytrot.com.
There you go.
And I don't know if the registration's yet, but it will be coming up.
Yeah, we're
And
almost
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Man,
yeah.
crazy.
It's coming around and like get it. It's fun to go out there and just see the community and have a good time. And
Totally.
I think, did you dress up one time as a?
I cheered from the sidelines.
I thought I saw you dressed up one time. Oh no,
I wear my tutu on other days.
I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Okay.
It was Gigi. Hannah.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Gigi, yeah, Gigi
Way
is
back in the
cool.
day, back in
Yeah,
the day.
Gigi is cool.
Yeah. I think Sandra did one time too. Like
Arbara?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
that's what's up.
yeah. Good stuff. So we have a lot of events, but that was cool. How do we get on that tangent? I don't know.
Damon.
Damon.
Oh, yeah, Damon.
Yeah, this foundation.
All right, so that's a good foundation. They help others that are
Wrongfully incarcerated.
Yeah, wrongfully incarcerated, and that's like a very special niche. So I mean,
And there's many people that have been wrongfully incarcerated.
Yeah, illegal sentence.
yeah, that's just wrong. And I'm glad that there are people that care about that.
Amen. There's many that
Because
we
if
need
you
more
are
of.
one of those, then you're like, man,
Right.
Totally.
Yeah.
No,
I couldn't
totally.
even think of anything worse than that, man.
Man.
God, yeah, and it happens a lot,
Yes, it
especially
happens
now
a
with all
lot.
the reforms that we've seen, especially with DNA and
Yeah, TNA's
verifications.
just showing
Yeah.
all the bad
Yeah.
judges and everything, right?
Totally right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad police and
Because there's always a mixed bag. It's not all of law enforcement is not bad. All of the judges are not great, but
Right.
it's a mixed bag. And we to me, it's like we have to do a better job of making sure that people that are honorable and recognize the humanity of all people are serving in these positions.
that's why we educate. That's why
That's it.
we do what we do, right?
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, so like you have that information that you can use as your own tool to make your decisions.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Hopefully a good one.
Amen.
That's it.
Amen. And
So,
if not, you can learn from it.
so you want to tell us your platform, or you've been on here quite a few times. So what angle you go? You've won the primary,
Yeah.
right? So you're in the general election.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The incumbent is gone.
Yes.
That incumbent usually pulls 40%, so that has to be divided up amongst you and Penman.
Right.
What is making you any different from Mr. Penman?
Well,
Differentiate.
besides the fact that I'm in the lead, I
Oh,
the biggest-
you're,
you know,
you're a female.
I am a female. I'm 40 years younger than he is,
And you're a
and
doctor as
I'm a
well.
doctor of public administration. I'm in law school, so we'll soon have that in common, where we'll both be attorneys.
Awesome.
But I'm in the community, and not the old guard of the community. Really, this era of I meet the demographics. So I think that's important. Our city has changed so much, where the average age is between 30 and 45. Young families with children that are looking for the things that died with the bankruptcy and the mismanagement that took hold of our city, unfortunately, for like the last 15 years.
Yes.
And now it's
But I think we're out of bankruptcy. So
We just got out of bankruptcy.
Right there. You can't just say we mismanaged everything because.
Oh, my goodness.
We're not
Well, we
out-
did-
We're out of bankruptcy.
actually,
No, I hear you.
but
Yeah.
wait, no, because in 2019 we had a $9 million deficit. And so we are just, if it wasn't for COVID and the $100 million of government federal
Everybody
funds.
got that. That's
Yeah, but-
that's like saying, what if COVID didn't happen? Like it
Yeah,
happened.
we
got
wouldn't-
that money. Everybody got that.
We
money.
wouldn't
And
be
that
where
money
we're
did
Did
at.
good things with it.
Yes, but we wouldn't be financially where we're at because, again, 5 years ago, we were $9 million in debt.
I just
coming
I
out of
wouldn't say that
bankruptcy.
they financially mismanaged things. I've seen definite improvement in San Bernardino. There has been some negative things with the homeless and stuff, but that has coincided with housing availability and fentanyl.
Right.
Right.
And that's what's so beautiful about our experience and why we all have a choice to make when we go to the ballot, because we are going to have our own unique perspectives on it.
Right, right. And that's the thing, is looking at where we are. And right now we have a budget from being in debt 5 years ago, $9 million in debt, to having an over $200 million budget. We have an opportunity now to invest, and we have $100 million in deficit of infrastructure. So we need to be paving our streets. We need to be investing into the parks. We finally brought up the parks budget. They've been the lowest one. Libraries, we're like, you're going to give us millions. So we've been able to open up full time back, which helps make the community literate, gives our kids extended
need
programming.
Been begging for that
oh,
stuff
yeah.
for 10 years.
Well,
You
see,
know
because of that,
Treasurer.
remember
I've
that
been
fiscal
begging for
mismanagement I
it,
told
right?
you about? You have.
Your time
And the
has come.
arts and the historical, like, we come out of the dark of bankruptcy years and reconstruction into a renaissance.
Beautiful.
And what I want to make sure, this has been my platform for 5 years, is I don't want to go backwards, because we have nowhere to go but up and become that all-America city again. And when you
The
look
Phoenix
at
Rising.
and when you look at that application to become an all-America city, it's built on diversity, innovation, on creativity and the arts, and being a smart cities and forward thinking, like that. I want to live, shop, work, and be in my community 24/7. And that's all my platform is I want to live in a good city that's well managed, that I know our kids have a future, our adults have a great lifestyle, our seniors are protected and housed, our homeless and our veterans are not just pushed aside and shuffled around, and that our government is honest and transparent. Other than that, I'm out.
Other than that, there's no
That's
distinct
it.
difference.
Like, yeah, you wouldn't. If that was how our city was, you would not see me.
That's right,
I could
that's
be
right.
enjoying my
Enjoying
life,
your life,
doing my
yeah.
things, sitting
sure.
And eating Robert's fruit, not at council meetings.
Awesome.
That's some definite differences. So, if you did win and you win in there, what would be the first thing that you'd like to look into?
The first thing that I'm going to pursue is we need to handle homelessness.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw one more thing that
Yes.
could get you 5 or 4 or 5 votes.
Yes, I believe the votes are there. What we know is we have over $62 million has been given to the city to address homelessness, and we've done nothing but come up with hotel vouchers. And so, in speaking into the other candidates that are still in their runoff, and speaking to Mario, and talking to the current council members, there are the votes there. It's just putting that plan into place. And quite honestly, in speaking to the county and their reps, we've been internally sabotaging how we're handling. And so this whole navigation center really is not on a timetable to actually happen to house 241 people. So I want to bring the council to collectively together, new and old, and say, what's the tiny village look like? What does the voucher program potential look like? What does getting this injunction off of us look like? And that's it. We move forward. And here's you report back every 2 weeks, not like we're going to get a 45-day update. No, what'd you do this week? What'd you do that week? And hold their feet to the fire for that implementation.
So Damon came into this with the gunners. I am going to have the wraparound services.
Totally.
I am going to. Then he runs into the walls.
Right.
And that stuff doesn't happen as quickly as you'd hope it happened. And you really had every intention of trying to help the homeless and get those projects through, but then all of a sudden the city manager disappears, or this person who was in charge of the job is gone, right? So it's not just the council's fault, right? There's things that happen that cause these things, and I see it with a lot of candidates that come in there like all these ideas, and then they need 4 or 5 votes. And then the other thing that's worse than that is you need the money to do it.
We have $62 million.
So
I
it
think
seems
we're
like
okay. How many people could you house for $62 million? Because I think it's at least the 1,500 that are in the parks.
That's what we're assuming until they start building one of these things, right? Yeah.
But we can look if we're building million square foot warehouses. If we were to do tilt ups with 3 floors, this was always my idea, and this is if I could get votes for this, to be amazing. You have a tilt up that's converted into a transitional housing. First floor is wraparound services. We partner with the county instead of beating them up online like we're doing right now. Then the first floor you have men. Second floor, you have women. And the third floor, which is the most important component, is making sure that you have families that are staying together that are homeless and putting them all in one area so that they're not traveling all around. We're not separating people. And then building the housing like we're talking about. They're going to approve the housing element on Wednesday, that you go from transitional into a permanent. We have jobs. We have patent. So the county gave us Laura's Law. I fought for Laura's Law for 2 years. They approved it. Now if you have a mental illness, you have an addiction, you're put into a place where you're being treated. You're not being incarcerated because of a problem you can't control. You're truly being treated so that you can be released back into society and supported in that transitional housing. If you're just homeless and have a job, then we have a place for you to go, which is building apartment buildings and condos. If you're once you've established that, we have a home program where we help you become a first-time buyer because we're building houses so that there's a place for everybody in society.
And one thing as we get ready to shift over to Latte is one thing that's to me very inspirational, especially with you and Mario, is how you guys are not waiting to get the official, you still have some things to navigate. But that's not preventing you from networking and building with the community and the leadership right now and getting those gears turning, getting ideas out there, understanding what the needs of the community. I think that's truly beautiful. I think that's a model for the other candidates in the future, that you want to be connected with the community. You don't have to wait to sit November to do this. It's start now.
Right.
You know.
It's the political will to do it. That's what it comes down. I know like you say, people do come in, but then what people do is they come in and they stop talking. They sit there and they're like, well, I can't get anything done. But I'll tell you what, with what I've been able to accomplish in 3 minutes, 2 meetings a month, imagine what I'll be able to do all night.
Amen.
And be able to say to my counterpart, like, excuse me, Councilman, why don't you want this? You keep telling your people that this is what we want. How come we're not doing this tonight?
So to justify how you're getting the means to get to this point, but you don't think that will cost you votes in the future?
And you know what? If we do, this is not a permanent place. This is
Well, like if you get stuck on a dais with you never win a vote, what's
well, then then the people know who's not voting.
That's true.
That's true.
We're
That's really
watching.
what it comes down to.
We're
is saying, like, ladies and gentlemen, I need you to
that doesn't
understand
work.
this is
If
how
you
it
don't
works.
Vote, I watch those people lose elections all the time.
Well,
you have to accomplish something. You have to work together. You have to compromise.
That's
you
it.
have to take something that you don't agree with, bring it to your side, add a little bit to it, and send it back, and then hope that they can even accept that. Because if you don't have the vote, they're just going to do what they want to do.
Right, but that's the purpose is watching all that happen.
And when it comes to like the politic world and things of this nature, often I tell people sometimes you have to see that 70% is a victory.
That's right.
And sometimes you have to take out the things that we don't agree on and find the common ground that we do agree on and push that through.
Like the
and
parks.
Then, and then we'll debate
fixing the homeless, like your idea there. Yeah.
and we'll debate the other things. But so
What about
often
turning warehouses into homeless shelters?
Why not? We're gonna have to transition, right? We're not gonna be able to support them forever. So.
definitely.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. It's
I
a lot.
have one more question.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to having commissioners if you are?
Oh my goodness, yeah. I know you with arts, and I know I can't say this. You guys are my commissioners, but I want the enthusiasm. I want the commissioners in the 7th Ward, especially Park and Rec, because we don't have parks. We have like a park lit, to be playing active roles and providing that feedback. So I know when that agenda comes through, as you guys know, I do agenda reviews for your commissions, that we're having that discussion of what do you think is important, and when the grants are coming across, what's important, and when the park cleanups, and when what do we need to invest into, and what do I need to look at when the budget comes in July and December that meets the needs of what you the conversations you're having all across all like 8 commissions.
I think that's an excellent segue to add Lati, since you currently are a commissioner in the 7th Ward. Where do you think we need the greatest amount of investment right now within the 7th Ward as well as San Bernardino at large?
I will into the people, because venues and the infrastructures and all that stuff is useless without building back up the people. When you drive down San Bernardino, you see people that are really choosing to be homeless. So now I ask myself, why is this person choosing this? Like, there's nobody in this person's family that loves this person or cares about this person enough to say, hey, let me help you.
Or there's
what can I do for you? How can I make your situation better right now? You know,
I hear you. Amen.
these things that we're talking about are things that's gonna take years to build. You know, years to develop. When people are out there every day.
Right now, as we speak.
And it's like, on the way here, I told my mom, it was every single business. There was one person sleeping. And like, how many businesses do we have in San Bernardino? Then you start, like, obviously the homeless count was incorrect, right? Like, and I'm like, whoa, this is not how it was when I was growing up.
No, it was not.
Exactly.
And I worked at a liquor store, so I saw every single homeless, right? They were all just the bums that drank and the hobo, and they loved their life, and they got drunk, and you didn't sell when
But
they
it
were
was very few.
When they're super
Now
young.
it's like
Now
tweaker,
so many.
a tweaker, fentanyl, xylene addict or whatever, like
And-
multiple different drugs.
And I don't want to just paint every person that's homeless out there on the house.
Yeah, not all. Yeah,
as addicts, right? Because
Yeah,
we
not
know
all,
there's a
yeah.
large
Yeah.
portion of people in
And
California.
every single situation is different. To
Totally.
be honest.
Yeah.
That work full-time jobs,
Yep.
but the cost of living is so high throughout the state of California where people are actually living in their cars, but they work full-time jobs. We have a category of people
Families
called the
doing that.
totally the
Kids
working
don't
poor.
even have a home school because
Totally,
they're living in the
totally.
car.
Yeah.
So we need to also invest in the people via the
So,
wages,
exactly.
via a living wage. You know,
So that you
And-
got a $20 increase, but like that, it feels like every.
it really
single
needs to be
person is
around
bad at it,
35
you
or
know?
40.
Yeah.
Well, because what we did is we gave $20 an hour to the lowest skill labor, and then we created this very small gap between the educated labor. Like, so what that does is
The
it
white
doesn't
collar and blue collar.
exactly, yeah, we don't push to be any better, and that really helps. When we did the economic review in the state of the city, it literally said our city is a minimum wage city that didn't grow, so that luckily enough people can still afford to live here and live and work in warehouses. And if you're between 18 and 30, you have the least chance of job to get anything if you are a low skill high school diploma.
Totally. A question that I have for you, Latte, because I know that you do a lot of work. You do a lot of work with the youth.
With the youth, yeah,
Could you tell
with
us
the
about that
community.
work that you do with the youth, as well as the Taylon Network as well?
Well, the Taylon Network is I shoot TV shows, reality TV shows, and I produced over 36 of them between now and 2015. I'm just in the process of editing them and releasing them on my own channel on Roku.
Nice.
As far as with the youth, I teach the youth that skill.
Awesome.
So I teach them how to write songs, teach them how to write movie scripts, teach them how to develop TV shows.
Are you working with Acoma still, or?
No, I'm working at the juvenile halls. I'm
juvenile
working.
hall?
Yeah, I'm actually working with a company called
I
Cords
see you picture-
Cords
with
Academy
Edwin,
of Arts. Yeah,
Yeah,
Cords
Shout out
Academy
to
of
Edwin's,
Arts.
Edwin's a
Shout out
a
to
star
Edwin
on
Johnson.
this show, man.
Yeah.
And congratulations to him and this lady. He just proposed to this
Proposed,
lady,
yeah.
Marsha,
Yeah.
and she
This
said yes.
guy, like, didn't you just get married?
Yeah,
Making me
so-
look bad here, but
I'm trying to find my first one, yo.
Yeah, like, what's up, Robert? What we?
Oh, wait, I'm going to another marriage this
I hear
weekend.
you.
Man. I'm gonna get all of it. I just
Is that
If
a
she
wrist
catches the
being turned
bouquet.
right now? Is that an arm behind the back right now?
I'll tell you all what I tell. Love is what matters, man.
Oh, here we
is
go.
everything.
Yeah, and a ring shows that amount of love in a big old carrot.
But most of those end up at a pawn
Yeah,
shop.
yeah.
More than
No.
50%.
No,
On a
your
more-
love will be eternal. Go to
Yeah,
Case.
I will.
On a more serious note, I would just like to, ask the community to pray for one of my coworkers, Kelly Younger. Her partner is currently in the hospital, sedated, and he almost passed away yesterday. And I just want, for those that believe in a higher power or well wishes and good thoughts, just to lift her up in prayer and lift her partner up in prayer, because they waited so long to find a true love, and they found that in each other, and it's heartbreaking to see her have to navigate with this, and it makes me think of my friend Brandon Lloyd Parker that we just had to lay to rest about 2 weeks ago, really closer to 3 weeks ago, only 42 years old. So pray for her, you know what I mean? But it's a beautiful thing for those that are able to find love within this lifetime, because there's no guarantee that you find that, and sadly many don't, you know what I mean?
Very true.
One question that I have for you, because I know that you have an upcoming event happening. I believe it's on June 19th.
June 19th.
What's special? What's significant about June 19th, sir?
Cal State San Bernardino.
Go, yo.
June 19th. Yep, Juneteenth.
And this will be your second one, I believe.
Second year. Yep, second
Definitely,
year.
definitely. And what were the
Second year was
times?
doing it from 12 o'clock to 5.
And how do
So
people?
we're closing early.
Awesome.
Last year we went from like 10 to 9 or
Early in the
something.
morning.
It was hot too.
Yeah,
It was a lot of.
yeah.
I was there that day.
Okay.
And I had to put on the big hat. I was
Okay,
just coming out
yeah.
but they, brother, they needed a little assistance. So me and Malibu Robin jumped in.
Oh, that's good. That's
for
good.
the community.
That's good. That's
So
good. That's
I'm happy
good.
that you
And
reached out.
We
Oh,
do
this
it.
is
We do it
different.
for the community.
I didn't go to this one.
Yeah, because it was
you
3
probably-
different ones
Yeah,
last
yeah,
year,
yeah.
and I would love to see that. I know we've in the past tried to get everybody on the same page, which is easier said than done.
Right.
But what was beautiful is it was 3 different events over the course of the weekend. So if you couldn't go to this one, you could go to that one. And then for the vendors, it's like you got 3
You got
days.
3 days to
of-
make money.
Yeah, for real. So how can people
yeah.
connect with you to be able to be a vendor?
Well, everything is on our website. My partner Robert runs the website, so I don't know the website, but
We gotta get that website.
everything is on the website. It's probably Love for Us. I know it's probably on Love for Us. They can go
.com
to
or .org.
go to Facebook and look at Love for Juneteenth. Love for Us. It should be
Okay.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question about it. So you were on this show right after me in KCAA for a long time.
Oh yeah, that was about that life.
Yeah, about that life.
Radio show.
You're not doing that for a little while, a little
No,
hiatus,
we
or-
have no. I just have to. I was the co-host, so Moan was the host. So if Moan wants to get back going, I guess we'll get back going. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, all right.
Yeah.
I always liked listening to you guys before.
Oh yeah.
Totally.
We used to love it. We did it for years.
And forgive me for the shameless self-plug, but if you're interested in hosting the show on KCAA, you can reach out to Mark Westwood, or you can reach out to Robert Porter and myself, and we can connect you with Mark Westwood.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
And we actually have 3 radio stations right here, so like
That's
there's
good.
more than one you can advertise on. So
Oh, nice.
there's KQLH. He's got another. What's the other one? The country one?
There's some bias in the studio, apparently. Shout out to our engineer, E Money in the house.
Yeah, palm
Airwick
trees.
in the
Palm
house.
trees.
Palm trees in
Eric.
progress.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, we're having too much fun. I had a good weekend. We finished painting the house this
Awesome.
weekend. 99-year-old house.
Yeah,
Took a
almost
lot
a
of work,
century.
but it feels good to like be done and be able to go on vacation and
That's
enjoy
awesome.
myself. Things that happened in the community. We did have our commissioners meeting last week. I did not make it, but good things are happening as long as we're having them, right? So at least what we're going over is the 6-month look back at the grants that we gave out. Right, so if you got a grant, you have to come back and say how you're spending the money.
Okay.
right?
Awesome.
And that's what everyone should be doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
All
Right?
over.
Accountability for those grants, and they won't have these problems where all the non-for-profits are looking bad right now because a few took all
Bad
that
apple.
money and wasted it, right?
Totally. And I would
That's
really,
not fair.
I would really like us to cultivate the nonprofits that live within our community. Often you have these parachute ones that come from LA or Orange County and this and that.
To get grants.
To get grants,
Yeah.
get the money maybe don't do it to the best of their ability. So let's look at people that grow up here and care for here, and this is where they call
That,
from.
that actually
Right.
was a requirement of the grant.
Oh, that's good.
The first one was you have to be based in
resident,
San Bernardino.
yeah,
totally.
The second one was known. You didn't have to be a non-for-profit, but you had to be from San Bernardino artist.
There you go.
Okay.
And I'm
Very
here,
cool.
so
Yeah.
There you go.
this shameless self-plug,
We should do some
motivational
educational
realization.
grants over there.
Hey now.
There you go.
Hey now.
I did see some of the stuff, like the little gallery did some projects.
Definitely.
They
I
were
love the
doing some
little
things in there.
gallery. I love the
Yeah.
little breezeway
Yeah.
right there. And we-
Acoma last year got some money for that too. I think for your program, right?
That was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, a couple of years. Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a
Definitely,
couple of
definitely
years
doing
ago.
great
Yeah.
work over there. Shout out to
yeah.
Kimberly
Kimberly
Collins.
Collins,
right.
yep, the Coma Center.
Yes,
So,
Great place to bring kids.
Your money, when it like sometimes it does go to
Into the
places
right
that
place.
need it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally
you know,
to the right
when
place,
you get
yeah.
the right people in there to
The right-
direct.
And that's what it is.
The
getting
right leadership.
people,
That's
the
right. That's what it
leadership.
takes.
Definitely, definitely.
Um,
So, quick question, Latte. What else is coming down the pipeline in the near future that you may want to share with our audience or make them aware of?
Man, just do everything with a little bit more love. That's all. Because you can have all these plans and all these great ideas, but if you're not implementing love, it's like you're gonna lose a lot of the people, and the people is what we do it for.
Can come back.
And where that leads me to is knowing that you born and raised on the west side of San Bernardino, and knowing
West Side.
West
West
Side.
Side!
What drives what internal drive or what fuels your fires to make an impact and make a change? Because everyone can do it, but so often they don't believe that they can.
Yes.
Well, I grew up when San Bernardino was great. I just remember the greatness of San Bernardino, being able to go to, the Central City Mall or the Inland Center Mall. Know what I'm saying? Having your pick. Or you might go to both of them,
Totally. That's what we would do.
That
going,
Christmas time, sometimes you have to.
yeah, going to the Crest and going to the student, man, I grew up when San Bernardino was fun.
Totally.
And just
Well,
to
there's
see.
still fun stuff. It's just.
We're in a
Yeah.
renaissance.
Yeah,
Giving our
yeah.
kids.
That Arrowhead's still great right there.
I got to get there to that hotel
Yeah.
one day.
So it's just trying to restore it back to what it was, for me. That's my goal every day.
Beautiful.
To put in the effort to
I
restore
think
it.
we need to move to what the new generation kind of wants, but don't forget us elders in the old school ways.
We're elders now, bro?
Yes,
Yeah,
we're
we're
elders now.
There's too many we's in that right
Wait
there.
a second.
Yeah.
We just need to stay over there, Robert.
Oh,
Our elder master
Where you
Robert
go.
Jedi.
And yeah. And what
I am only in my 30s. Wait a minute, time out. No.
what he's saying is
Overachiever.
good, but us being in the middle, because I consider myself that
Middle ground.
that
Same
middle
here.
place, where we can't just give the young people what they want, because they don't really know what they want, and they don't really want good things all the time. So we need to be there to educate them on how to get the best of their ideas into fruition.
help them grow their seeds.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
There you go.
They can't
Exactly.
this one, maybe don't grow that much yet. Unless you're going to start $1 billion business.
But you gotta start somewhere.
Not with
Disney
that.
did, huh?
There's other things that you
Totally.
can substitute.
Totally. That's not the only thing. But I know that here in Redlands, there's a push for agro-tourism, and maybe that's something that our city can also ride that wave, as a lot of those happenings are going to be happening here in Redlands. So maybe San Bernardino could ride that wave as well and capitalize on that as well.
Yeah.
Last little bit, we have 2 minutes left. How do people find out more about your campaign and your podcast and all the stuff you do?
You can go to Facebook and go to Dr. Treasure Ortiz for San Bernardino. My Instagram, Treasure for SB. YouTube, Wake Up San Bernardino, which is
I like that.
was a morning show that I was hosting for a while, but we put a lot of the campaign stuff. I'm at the council meetings and all around town. So,
Awesome.
And if you want to donate, you can go to my webpage, treasureortiz.com, and click on the link and send me your money and love.
Amen.
And they can reach me on Facebook, just Latte Wilson Senior. That's it.
Don't call
How do
him
you spell latte?
LATA.
Latte.
All
Latte.
right.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you both for coming on the show. It was
Thanks for
wonderful.
having us.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Incredible
Fantastic.
shirt. Victor in the background. And this is
Definitely.
Robert Porter and
Victor.
Biani Lockhart with the I Love San Bernardino County Radio Show. And we all
Out here!